Colonel Perron and Chief Reiter with you. Happy New Year.
The first Peggy Podcast of 2025 and our 21st episode.
I cannot believe it's 2025, Chief.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I hope everyone had a very happy and healthy start to the new year. And we are really looking forward to what 2025 will bring for our great wing as we look forward, Chief.
Absolutely. As we all know, we didn't have a UTA over the January month, so we're really kind of looking forward to the February and March and the springtime. So, one of the things we talk about, it's a great time coming out of the holidays to really refocus on the mission, what your individual mission is, and what the mission of the wing is, and then also set some personal, professional, financial goals. I know I sit down every year and try to figure out what do I want to do with the year, and how can I make myself better. So as you're sitting there going, it's January, we're going into February UTA, think about what you want to get out of each UTA. You own your career, we certainly don't own that, and figure out how you can best maximize your time here at the wing, and we're here to support you.
Well, a couple things, Chief. One, we had some of our airmen, I think 6 from the wing and 6 from the Army National Guard, that got to take part in the inauguration events for our new governor, Governor Ayotte, up at the state capitol last week. So that was an amazing event, and I know our airmen enjoyed taking part in that.
Absolutely. A new commander-in-chief in the state, and we're looking forward to bring the governor here and get her immersed in the wing. And she has been around the wing before, so she is educated on it, but really give her that commander-in-chief viewpoint of what we can do and what we can provide to the state.
Yeah, I know she's really excited to getting some time down here with our airmen and seeing what we do day in and day out here as we support not only the state, but this great nation as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, as we look ahead, we talk about the commanders-in-chief. We also talk about our senior leaders. A message was sent out by the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant David Flossie, and him and the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David Alvin, are looking at resetting some standards. So they truly believe that some of the standards and regulations over the last 4 years have gotten a little complicated, a little bit hard to understand, therefore it's a little bit hard to enforce, therefore some of our airmen are just flat out not following it. So over the next 90 days, we as a active duty Air Force and an Air National Guard will see changes to these regulations and changes to the standards. They have not said what those changes are yet, but they are not going to wait to release them. So what I expect is we'll see a series of either memos or directives released by the CSAF and the CMSgt directing us on all things from dress and appearance to PT standards to who knows what. So what I'll ask is, for all our airmen out there, pay attention to those. Your senior leaders on base, your chiefs, your commanders, and your first sergeants. We will take those information. We will absolutely put them in a bite-sized, digestible way and get them out to you. But know that your senior leaders at the highest level are looking to change the way the Air Force goes. And it could be something as simple as the way we wear our uniform, just making the language a little bit more clear so it's a little bit easier to follow, therefore a little bit more easier to enforce. So more to follow. There's not much information. There's a great 4-minute video out there on YouTube titled CSAF General Alvin Policy and Standards Update. If you get a chance, please go out and see it. I'll put it in my notes. I sent it to all the chiefs and commanders so they have it. But more to follow when we get more information on that.
Yeah, and the one thing I'd say to the wing is, for Chief and I, the minute we get the information, we will share it with you. So it's not information in a vacuum. It's our jobs to make sure that we communicate to you all once we know. But right now, what we know is the exact same that you know. So
absolutely. So, sir, looking forward, the February UTA, it's right around the corner. So we are probably 10 days from there, from the February UTA. And as every UTA approaches, it's another busy one. So, the big priority, I think, for this UTA is really our PDF and our RCP-6 deployment farewell event. And so a lot of moving pieces with that, and really the bulk of that happens on Saturday, the 1st of February. So there'll be a PDF line from 0730 to 1100, and anyone who has been identified in that line should know your times and show up, and we'll take you through the MOBAG and the medical process and the supply process. Then we're going to break. We're going to serve some lunch to our members and their families, so please invite your families to come out. Lunch has been generously donated by the New Hampshire MAF. And then we're going to have a chance for our state leaders to talk to those deployers, RCP6 deployers, say farewell, and then we're going to open up to our pre-deployment farewell event where we have a ton of service providers to come in, Military One Source, we'll have the VA there, we'll have Martins Point, really to make sure not only the deployers have the information they need, but their families have the information they need. So please, 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 if you're deploying an RCP6, tell your families to come on base Saturday, the 1st of February. We want to host them. We want them here. We can get them ID cards and ID cards. We can put names to faces. We just want to make sure anyone walking out the door, your families have all the support you need. And then we'll close out the day, hopefully with a little bit of socialization over at the mission's end. But really a good day. Really want to focus on those RCP folks and make sure they get out the door in a smooth, efficient process.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chief. I know, our Military and Family Readiness Program, which is headed up by Mr. Joe Smith, has been doing a great job with our current deployed members and their families with making sure that not only do our service members have all the information that they need, but more importantly, our family members who are at home while our loved ones are deployed are able to get the resources that may or may not need while the service member is deployed. We're going to continue with those with the RCP that is upcoming. So again, on Saturday, it's really not only for our members, but for their family members to come in and get that information, to get those connections so that they have all the support needed while their loved one is serving our great nation.
Absolutely. There's a lot more going on the UTA weekend because that's how we like to do it, like to stack things up. So the February UTA actually starts in January. So the product of the 033, 31 January is the start of the February UTA. And so on 31 January, it's a Friday. We want folks to come in here, focus on the training, hit the ground running. I cannot say it enough. You don't need to shut down your sections to do training. You don't need a PowerPoint slideshow to do training. If you're a young airman, park yourself next to an NCO, focus on your training. If you're an NCO, find an airman, get them training, get them done. So we have 3 days here. We got to maximize that time. So Friday is a day of training. One thing that's due on Friday is our wing first sergeant is retiring, and the packages for that position do close on Friday, the 31st of January. So that's for our current first sergeants, but what that's going to do is open up a vacancy. So you'll see a month or two down the road, a first sergeant vacancy will be open up, and we're looking for those sharp tech sergeants and those sharp master sergeants that are looking to give back to the wing, looking to give back and mentor airmen. So that's happening on Friday. Then we roll into Saturday, the 1st of February. And like I said, we have our PDF and deployment line, all kinds of events that day, and another great day of training. The one thing that you and I, sir, have really kind of focused on is we've kind of taken all of those military ceremonies, and pushed them to Saturday. So you won't see any on Friday, you won't see any on Sunday. We really want to focus and put them on Saturday. So when you see the schedule, there may be 1 or 2 retirements and 1 or 2 promotions all stacked up. We're doing that to protect your time on Friday and Sunday and really focus on getting that stuff done on Saturday. And then on Sunday, sir, we'll really focus on, once again, more training, hopefully bringing back some of our folks in here and take care of them. But really, Step 2 packages are due to me that day as well. So anyone going to senior or chief, the Step 2 packages are due, as well as the Airman of the Quarter packages are due. Airman of the Quarter packages are 4 lines, 4 sentences. So if you're looking to recognize an airman, an NCO, or senior NCO, write 4 sentences. We don't make it complicated. We really just want to take an opportunity to recognize our airman and give them a really cool dagger from yourself and the chief's group. So.
Yeah. The other thing that to be looking for over the February and March UTA, Chief, is we're going to provide our DEOCS feedback. So your SELs and your commanders will provide that feedback to you because we've received the results of our DEOCS, and so we're looking forward to getting the information back to you all on areas that are going well for the wing, but also areas that we need to make improvements.
Absolutely, sir. In the DEOCS, we understand it's a yearly survey, all right? So what we want to do this year is really focus on what are the changes we made from the DEOCS so we can communicate that out to you. Your time is valuable. Your information is valuable. We read the DEOCS, we listen to it, and we do make changes. What we can do better is tell you what those changes are so you know that we're reading the DEOCS and taking your comments seriously because we want to make this a better place for you to serve.
We know not all organizations are perfect. We don't pretend to be, but without that feedback, we can't make those improvements that are needed.
Absolutely. And that rolls us out of the February UTA. And February is a busy month. There's a lot going on. There is some regional EFAC meeting, the Enlisted Field Advisory Council. That meets down in Niagara Falls. We're sending a group of about 5 or 6 folks there. And then we have our first 81X Commander Certification course. So our wing plans, our A5, the A staff, really is focusing on that new mission set or mission set we're bringing back. And we have an opportunity to bring our commanders in there, educate them, and get them certified as we look forward to that mission set. Following later on in the month, we're looking for names for the senior NCO trip that goes down to DC. And then we have our Best Warrior Competition nominations that are due. Happy to say that we have multiple people interested, so it's the first year we're actually going to have to tell someone they can't participate, which is a good problem to have, but a problem. So February will be a busy month, sir.
Yeah, I'll tell you, lots of things happening. We currently have our LCOM manning study that's ongoing, so we have folks that are working in our maintenance squadrons and group, really looking at our full-time manning and what it takes to fix and support our KC-46s. So that's ongoing right now. Looking for that in the end of this month as well as the end of February. And we look to having the results of those studies back sometime early summer, which will help us as we look forward to what that adequate manning is to support these aircraft that we fly and fix every day here at the unit.
Absolutely. Something we've been asking for, and sir, something you've been fighting for with the National Guard Bureau and our senior leaderships at AMC and HAF. It's just making sure we have the right people to do the mission. So that'll certainly help. As we look to March, it's going to be another good month. Not super busy. The drill is the 7th through 9th of March. There is some school holidays in there as well. But we have our Best Warrior competition that leads into the drill. Great event up at the ECTC. So if you have anyone participating, or if you'd like to go see what it is, it's an Army-led event, but we participate as well as our SPP partners as well. So good event to really kind of go out and check out our warriors. Following that, over the UTA weekend, we're going to have a couple different things going on. There will be some ATAG all calls for our CGOs, but the big event is really the Rapid Readiness, the R2, led by our medical group. So that is an event where we've taken that out of the block training and really said, how do we maximize our folks to go through the medical process? So everyone knows we reset all the PHAs in December, and you'll see the results in March. Everyone will have a time slot to go through, and the medical group, they're boasting, it's going to be a couple minutes, right? So think about it, you're going to go through this very quickly. Let's say less than 15 minutes. So even though R2 is the priority that weekend, there's still a lot of bandwidth to get some training done. You just need to make sure you're at your time slot that you're scheduled for. And then we also, sir, will have our state command chief change of authority on Saturday, the 8th of March as well at 2:30 in Hangar 254, where Chief Master Sergeant Pranav Zavari will say goodbye, and then we'll welcome in Chief Master Sergeant Bernard Cho. So big event there for that weekend. Yeah, Chief, it's going to be a busy drill for sure. And Chief, you hear it from me all the time. I'm not a believer in the status quo. We are trying this, what I call R squared, as a way to improve our readiness, to also be more efficient with our airmen's time, so we can really concentrate on that AFSC training that will make sure that we are ready for wherever called upon. So I'm sure, it won't go without a hitch. So your feedback's important, and I look forward to trying this new approach to make sure that our medical readiness is taken care of. Absolutely. So, sir, as I looked at how do I change things and serve the wing better, when I first took my first year, I focused on the 30, 60, 90. Let's look at 90 days. Last year, you and I both focused on how do we improve enlisted promotions. This year, I really want to focus on pinch points. Like, what are the pinch points that I see? So I see 3 pinch points coming up in the spring. The first one happening in February. The PDF line and our deployment farewell event is happening. So I want everyone to focus on that, but you still got your own things to focus on, right? We may or may not have deployers return. We don't know, the OPSEC. So there are going to be a lot of moving pieces there, but you got to focus on your core job first. The second pinch point I see is in the March UTA. The priority is the rapid readiness. We got to get that done. We got to be medically ready to deploy at all times. We're also going to have a state command chief change of authority, right? So there's a pinch point there. We're going to bring the whole wing over to Hangar 254. So we understand that that's a big machine moving pieces. Finally, the last one is looking way ahead in the May UTA. And sir, you've heard me say it many times. we're going to have a wing-wide exercise. Surprise, surprise, everyone. We're having an exercise. What that looks like, we're developing it right now. We'll get a brief next week by our emergency management section on there. But know that we will have a wing-wide exercise. That exercise will be owned by the A staff. So we're going to implement the A staff, and our Chief of Staff, Lieutenant Colonel Treadwell, will take that and shape that. But we want to communicate that. I don't think we're communicating it enough, so here we are. You'll hear it over the UTA weekend. We want to communicate. In May, coming out of an April where we're not drilling, we're going to do a wing-wide exercise. So please start preparing for that now. What do you need to do to work in a deployed environment? The boss and I are not going to tell you that. You need to know what your METs are. You need to know what tasks you need to get done, and it's on you to make sure you accomplish those. So those are the pinch points I see coming up.
Yeah, so I'll foot stomp that as well, Chief. If over the February UTA, if your squadrons or SELs aren't communicating that, ask for it. They need to ensure that you understand what the expectations will be during that UTA when we are exercising this entire wing. So please, if you're not hearing it, ask for it. If you're not getting it at the squadron or SEL level, go up to your group and get it from there.
Absolutely.
All right. The last thing I have, we are at the start of the year looking forward to the air show. Woo! Got a great update last week, and for those that are not tracking, we did get another a team that's going to come out. So we have the F-35 demo team.
Awesome.
That will take part in that September air show.
It's going to be a great event. Looking forward to it. Huge event, and we are the only hosts for the Blue Angels on the East Coast. So.
That's right, Chief. All right. Well, I think we're about out of time. So again, look forward to seeing everyone at UTA, and Happy New Year.
Thanks for all you do. Live free or die.